Hi everyone. Today's lecture is on ethanol metabolism. Absorption of alcohol. Ethanol is both lipid and water soluble. When alcohol is consumed, it enters the stomach where it can be absorbed into the bloodstream. However, if no food is present, most of the alcohol moves down into the small intestine where there is a much larger surface area for absorption compared to the stomach. To be absorbed, alcohol moves across the epithelial cells through the interstitial space and into the capillaries. The capillaries are made of endothelial cells. As alcohol moves through each of these cells, it moves in the direction of the concentration gradient. When alcohol is absorbed into the bloodstream, it crosses two kinds of cells: epithelial cells lining the gut and endothelial cells that form the capillaries. Absorption of alcohol. After absorption, the blood alcohol concentration rises to a maximum in 40 minutes with 2 to 4% of the absorbed ethanol eliminated unchanged through respiration or by way of the kidneys. Alcohol absorption rate depends on gastric emptying rate and ethanol concentration. Empty stomach during fasting increases gastric emptying. Food, carbohydrate, protein, and fat reduce rate of gastric emptying. Blood ethanol concentration. The peak blood ethanol concentration is reduced when alcohol is consumed with or after food. Food delays gastric emptying into the duodenum. This attenuates the sharp early rise in blood ethanol concentration seen when alcohol is taken on an empty stomach. Food also increases elimination of ethanol from the blood. Blood alcohol concentration. Percentage of blood alcohol concentration in an average man at hourly intervals after drinking 1, 2, 4, or 6 ounces of spirits containing 50% alcohol. If the average size man drinks and absorbs 4 ounces, approximately 120 ml of whiskey at 50% alcohol within an hour, he will have a blood alcohol concentration near 0.07%, above many established legal limits to operate an automobile. Likewise, if he drinks 6 ounces, 180 milliliter, he will have a blood alcohol concentration of about 0.11 percentage, a level at which his speech will slurred and his muscle movements clearly impaired. Standard drink. A standard drink is a measure of alcohol consumption representing a hypothetical beverage which contains a fixed amount of pure alcohol. A standard drink varies in volume depending on the alcohol concentration of the beverage. For example, a standard drink of spirits take up much less space than standard drink of beer, but it always contains the same amount of alcohol and therefore produce the same amount of drunkenness. 14 gram of pure ethanol is defined as a standard drink. The percent of pure alcohol expressed as alcohol by volume varies by beverage. The 12 ounces, approximately 360 ml of beer at 6% alcohol per volume, 5 ounces, 150 ml of wine at 12% of alcohol per volume, or 1.5 ounces, 45 ml of distilled spirit at 40% of alcohol per volume, each are equivalent to a standard drink. Contribution of binge ethanol's exposure to multi-organ pathology. Binge drinking is defined as a pattern of alcohol drinking that brings blood alcohol concentration levels to 0.08 percentage. That means 80 milligram per deciliter or above, and which for the typical adult corresponds to consuming 5 or more drinks for males and 4 or more drinks for females in about 2 hours. Binge ethanol and multi-organ pathology. Acute ethanol intoxication contributes to tissue injury in several organ systems, including liver, gut, heart, adipose tissue, pancreas, and brain. In the heart, the binge ethanol exposure causes alcoholic cardiomyopathy, atherosclerosis, cardiomyocyte hypertrophy, cardiac steatosis. In the liver, it increases serum alanine aminotransferase and aspartate aminotransferase, causes micro and macrosteatosis, inflammation, neutrophil infiltration, and fibrosis. In the brain, it causes neuroinflammation and neurodegeneration. In the pancreas, it causes alcoholic pancreatitis, apoptosis, inflammation, macrophage infiltration, and altered pancreatic function. In the gut, it alters gut permeability and endotoxemia. In the adipose tissue, it increases the pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. First pass metabolism. Alcohol ingested through the mouth reaches the stomach, where a portion of alcohol is metabolized by the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase or ADH. The remaining alcohol enters the intestine, where most of the remainder is absorbed into the bloodstream and enters the portal vein that leads to the liver. In the liver, part of the alcohol is metabolized by alcohol dehydrogenase or cytochrome P450. The remaining alcohol enters the general or systemic circulation and eventually is transported back to the liver and metabolized there. The metabolism of alcohol in the stomach or during the first passage through the liver after absorption from the intestine is called first pass metabolism. The first pass metabolism is higher in men than women. Alcohol dehydrogenase. Alcohol dehydrogenase or ADH exists as a family of isoenzymes with varying specificity for chain length of the alcohol substrate. Isoenzyme of ADH, ADH1, ADH2, ADH3, ADH4, and ADH5. ADH1 present in high quantities in the liver and have a low Km, 0.05 to 4 millimolar for ethanol. ADH4 present in highest levels in the upper GI tract, not present in the liver. Acetaldehyde dehydrogenase. Acetaldehyde is oxidized to acetate with generation of NADH by acetaldehyde dehydrogenases. Acetaldehyde dehydrogenase 1 is cytosolic enzyme. Acetaldehyde dehydrogenase 2 is a mitochondrial enzyme with high affinity for acetaldehyde. Accumulation of acetaldehyde causes nausea and vomiting. Alcoholics are frequently treated with aldehyde dehydrogenase inhibitors, example disulfiram. Ethanol metabolism. The enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase ADH cytochrome P452E1 CYP2E1, and catalase all contribute to oxidative metabolism of alcohol or ethanol. ADH present in the fluid of the cell, in other words cytosol, converts alcohol to acetaldehyde. Catalase located in cell bodies called peroxisomes requires hydrogen peroxide to oxidize alcohol. CYP2E1 present predominantly in the cell's microsomes assumes an important role in metabolizing ethanol to acetaldehyde at elevated ethanol concentrations. Acetaldehyde is metabolized mainly by aldehyde dehydrogenase 2 in the mitochondria to form acetate and NADH. RO is reactive oxygen species. Cytochrome P2E1 or CYP2E1 has much higher Km for ethanol than aldehyde dehydrogenase 1. Thus, the greater portion of ingested ethanol is metabolized through CYP2E1 at high level of ethanol consumption than at low levels. Genes affecting alcohol metabolism: ADH1B and ADH1C. The ADH1B and ADH1C genes encode two members of the alcohol dehydrogenase family, the enzyme responsible for the conversion of ethanol to acetaldehyde. Genetic variants that increase the ADH activity increase the likelihood of adverse reaction to alcohol due to high level of acetaldehyde. Changes in this enzyme do cause some facial flushing, but are more commonly associated with the other side effects. Aldehyde dehydrogenase 2. The ALDH2 gene encodes a member of the aldehyde dehydrogenase family, the enzyme responsible for the conversion of acetaldehyde to acetate. Common variation in this gene decreases the ALDH activity, slowing the removal of toxic acetaldehyde. This variant is the genetic change most commonly associated with the intense facial flushing known as alcohol flush response. Alcohol flush response. Alcohol flush response, also known as Asian flush syndrome. This is due to a deficiency of aldehyde dehydrogenase 2 enzyme. This causes increased acetaldehyde. The increased level of acetaldehyde induces catecholamine release. Catecholamine causes the facial flush or Asian flush syndrome. Ethanol is converted to acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is converted to acetate. The conversion of ethanol to acetaldehyde catalyzed by alcohol dehydrogenase. The conversion of acetaldehyde to acetate is catalyzed by aldehyde dehydrogenase. In the normal alcohol metabolism, ethanol converted to acetaldehyde and subsequently by aldehyde dehydrogenase enzyme converted to acetic acid. In some cases, aldehyde dehydrogenase 2 deficiency occurs. When the ethanol is converted by alcohol dehydrogenase to acetaldehyde due to aldehyde dehydrogenase 2 deficiency, acetaldehyde accumulates in the blood. This acetaldehyde causes flushing of the face or Asian flush syndrome. Prevalence of inactive aldehyde dehydrogenase or ALDH2 in various ethnic populations is given in the table. The highest inactive percentage of ALDH2 is observed in Chinese Population: Mongolian about 30%, Zhuang is 25%, Han about 45%, Indonesians about 39%, Japanese about 44%, South Korean is 27%, and Vietnam is 53%. The microsomal ethanol oxidizing system. When alcohol concentration overwhelms the alcohol dehydrogenase pathway, it is typically oxidized by the microsomal ethanol oxidizing system, or MEOS, and catalase. The cytochrome P452E1, a critical enzyme in the microsomal ethanol oxidizing system, is upregulated with chronic alcohol ingestion. Generally, these pathways are more likely to generate injurious byproducts. Physiological and toxic activities associated with hepatic CYP2E1. Given the mitochondrial ethanol oxidizing pathway or ethanol metabolism is induced in chronic alcoholics, the enhanced ethanol metabolism likely contributes to alcoholic metabolic tolerance for ethanol, which in turn promotes further alcohol consumption. The activity of CYP2E1 is also essential in the metabolism of several xenobiotics, particularly those found in cigarette smoke, benzene, and nitrosamines. Therefore, the increased level of expression of this enzyme in alcoholics can have a significant impact on the production of toxic metabolites, and this is thought to contribute to ethanol induced liver injury. Ethanol metabolism in the liver and its effects on liver metabolism. Hepatic metabolism of ethanol results in generation of large quantities of cytosolic and mitochondrial NADH, leading to disruptions in the metabolic processes in the liver. Acute and chronic ethanol metabolism results in impaired gluconeogenesis, leading to potentially severe hypoglycemic condition. The elevated cytosolic NADH levels lead to diversion of pyruvate into lactate, as well as an inability to convert lactate to pyruvate, which represents the major disruption in normal hepatic gluconeogenesis. The increased lactate production in turn results in excessive lactate delivery to the blood and a consequent lactic acidemia or lactic acidosis. The excess acetate derived from the mitochondrial oxidation of acetaldehyde is converted to acetyl-CoA via the action of mitochondrial and cytoplasmic acetyl-CoA synthetase. The acetyl-CoA is then diverted into fatty acid biosynthesis. In addition, chronic ethanol metabolism leads to impaired fatty acid oxidation and the diversion of carbons into fats result in increased triglyceride and VLDL production, causing fatty infiltration and ultimately liver damage and failure. Contributing to the progression to liver damage and failure is the increased production of reactive oxygen species, or ROS, within the mitochondria as a consequence of the increased levels of mitochondrial NADH. The ROS causes mitochondrial stress, leading to the triggering of the mitochondrial apoptosis pathway and hepatocyte death. Acute effects of ethanol metabolism on lipid metabolism. Number one, metabolism of ethanol generates a high NADH NAD plus ratio. Number two, the high NADH NAD plus ratio inhibits fatty acid oxidation and the tricarboxylic acid cycle, resulting in accumulation of fatty acids. Number three, fatty acids are re-esterified to glycerol 3-phosphate by acyl transferases in the endoplasmic reticulum. Glycerol 3-phosphate levels are increased because of high NADH NAD plus ratio favors its formation from dihydroxyacetone phosphate or DHAP. Ethanol stimulated increase of ER enzyme also favors triglycerol formation. Number four, NADH generated from ethanol oxidation can meet the requirements of the cell for adenosine triphosphate or ATP generation from oxidative phosphorylation. Thus, acetyl coenzyme or acetyl CoA oxidation in the TCA cycle is inhibited. Number five, the high NADH NAD plus ratio shift oxaloacetate towards malate, and acetyl CoA is directed into ketone body synthesis. Options 6 through 8 are discussed in the text. Mechanism of alcoholic ketoacidosis. Alcoholic ketoacidosis results when mobilization of fatty acids occurs in conjunction with a ketogenic state in the liver. This is caused by a decreased ratio of insulin to glucagon. Reduced insulin levels result from glycogen depletion from starvation, decreased gluconeogenesis, and suppression of insulin release from the pancreatic beta cells due to activation of sympathetic nerves. Ethanol metabolism leads to an increased ratio of NADH to oxidized nicotinamide adenine nucleotide NAD that contributes to a decreased gluconeogenesis and facilitates production of ketone bodies, specifically beta hydroxybutyric acid. Glycogen depletion, reduction in insulin release, and increased autonomic tone provide a stimulatory effect for glucagon release. Increased glucagon levels, along with the increased ratio of NADH to NAD, enhance the ketogenic capacity of the liver. When keto acids enter the extracellular fluid, the dissociated hydrogen ion reacts with bicarbonate to generate carbon dioxide and water. As a consequence, the bicarbonate concentration decreases and the salt levels of the keto acid concentration increases. This accounts for the increase in the anion gap. The excretion of the keto acid salt into the urine with sodium or potassium rather than hydrogen or ammonium produces contraction of the extracellular fluid volume and stimulate renal retention of dietary sodium chloride. Volume contraction and retention of sodium chloride combined with exogenous loss of keto acid salt result in generation of a mixed anion gap acidosis and hyperchloremic normal gap metabolic acidosis. Development of alcohol-induced hepatitis. Number one, acetaldehyde adduct formation. decreases protein synthesis and impairs protein secretion. Number two, free radical injury results partly from acetaldehyde adduct formation with glutathione. Number three, induction of the microsomal ethanol oxidizing system or MEOS increases formation of free radicals, which leads to lipid peroxidation and cell damage. Number four, mitochondrial damage inhibits the electron transport chain, which decreases acetaldehyde oxidation. Number five, microtubule damage increases very low density lipoprotein and protein accumulation. Number six, cell damage leads to release of the hepatic enzyme alanine aminotransferase ALT and aspartate aminotransferase AST. Development of hepatic fibrosis. Proposed model for the development of hepatic fibrosis involving hepatocytes, Kupffer cells, and stellate cells. Activated Kupffer cells produce several products that contribute to activation of stellate cells. They generate additional ROS or reactive oxygen species through NADPH oxidase during the oxidative burst and reactive nitrogen oxygen species or RNOS through inducible nitric oxide synthase. In addition, they secrete an imperative array of growth factors such as cytokines, chemokines, prostaglandins, and other reactive molecules. The cytokine transforming growth factor beta 1 or TGF beta 1 produced by the Kupffer cells and sinusoidal endothelial cells is a major player in the activation of stellate cells. When they are activated, the stellate cell produce collagen and proteases, leading to an enhanced fibrotic network within the liver. Stellate cells may also partially activated by hepatocyte release of ROS and acetaldehyde directly with the involvement of Kupffer cells. Most common causes of chronic liver disease: non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or NAFLD, associated with obesity, overaccumulation of fat in the hepatocytes, isolated steatosis. 5% to 25% of patients may progress to cirrhosis. Portal hypertension, liver failure, hepatic carcinoma are the common features. Alcoholic liver disease, steatosis accompanied by hepatocellular injury, infiltrate of macrophages, neutrophil, and lymphocytes, different degrees of fibrosis, steatosis, steatohepatitis, fibrosis, cirrhosis, liver failure, and hepatic carcinoma. Pathogenic process of non-alcoholic fatty liver. Free fatty acids lead to death receptor activation, which results in cell death lipoapoptosis. In addition, fatty acids lead to organelle dysfunction and oxidative stress, which incite pro-apoptotic cascades. Free fatty acids may interfere with insulin signaling by blocking insulin activation or insulin receptor substrate 1, IRS1. Inhibition of insulin sensitivity by free fatty acids requires activation of kinases such as Janus kinases or JNK. Hepatic cells release extracellular vesicles which then recruit macrophages to the site of liver injury. Pathogenic process of alcoholic liver disease. Ethanol leads to increased gut permeability, which results in an increased release of LPS or lipopolysaccharides into circulation. LPS then activates TLR4 on macrophages and hepatocytes to trigger inflammatory responses. Ethanol can also directly act on hepatocytes by inducing organelle dysfunction and oxidative stress, which results in induction of pro-apoptotic cascades. Hepatic cells release extracellular vesicles and damage associated molecular patterns or dams that recruit macrophages to the site of cell death, resulting in hepatic stellate cell activation and migration. Cell death receptors that incite apoptosis can be activated by trail or via pro-inflammatory cytokines released from macrophages. Development of fatty liver, hepatic and extrahepatic mechanisms. Hepatic and extrahepatic mechanisms that contribute to the development of alcoholic fatty liver or steatosis are enhanced lipogenesis, fatty acid influx from adipose tissue, impaired VLDL secretion, reduced adipokine production, arrested lipophagy, and diminished fatty acid oxidation. Role of innate immunity in the natural history of alcoholic liver disease. Heavy alcohol consumption causes release of bacterial products, lipopolysaccharide or LPS, from the gut into the bloodstream. These lipopolysaccharides lead the activation of liver innate immunity by stimulating toll-like receptor 4 or TLR4, signaling on Kupffer cells and hepatocytes. The damaging effects of alcohol and its metabolism on cell trigger additional immune responses. Steatosis and inflammation in hepatocytes represent the early stages of alcoholic liver disease. Continued alcohol-induced inflammation leads to apoptosis or necroptosis in hepatocytes. Transforming growth factor beta or TGF beta signaling activate hepatic stellate cells, which differentiate into myofibroblast, causing fibrosis. About 10 to 20% of patients with alcohol dehydrogenase, about 70% patients with alcoholic hepatitis, progress to cirrhosis. Differentiation and proliferation of precancerous liver cells present in cirrhosis lead to cancer in about 10% of cirrhosis patients. Spectrum of alcoholic liver disease. Heavy ethanol consumption produces a wide spectrum of hepatic lesions. Fatty liver, in other words, steatosis, is the earliest, most common response that develops in more than 90% of problem drinkers who consume 4 to 5 standard drinks per day. With continued drinking, alcoholic liver disease can proceed to liver inflammation, in other words, steatohepatitis, fibrosis, cirrhosis, and even liver cancer or hepatocellular carcinoma. Stages of alcoholic liver disease. The progression of alcoholic liver injury to steatosis with scarring, Inflammation and architectural distortions leading to cirrhosis. As a complication of cirrhosis, hepatocellular carcinoma may occur. However, only a minority of patients with alcoholic steatosis progress to severe liver injury. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation.